You may be like most real estate agents that we speak with, where real estate experience varies for many of us. And as you look at a new agent or a senior agent, real estate experience doesn't have to be rooted in what you know as much as how much you know about a process, a product, or your overall company. For today's purpose though, let's cover 3 key areas when it comes to the process of being able to articulate the real estate experience, so in that way you don't necessarily have to sell your experience, but you sell yourself through how clearly you articulate each transaction element clearly as it should be appropriate for each person. I'll give you an example. We've got top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel leads or conversations. What I mean by that is a person who is top of funnel interest levels is maybe a year to 2 away. A middle of funnel, somewhere between 4 to 8 months or a year out. Bottom of funnel, now 2, 3 to 4 months away from the transaction side of real estate. But let's clearly articulate research and transact. 90% of people start their research online. So we could call that search. The first key area of articulating the overall real estate experience is being able to conduct a conversation around how often somebody is searching, where they're searching, and their overall experience searching for information. And that can be on hows or what's the actual specific homes. But we also know that once somebody starts searching, then they end up saving, meaning saving information. This could be saving your YouTube channel, saving a specific property on Zillow or Realtor.com or your website, so much so that it's getting a better understanding of where they could see themselves living. And or maybe I'm no longer just searching, I now am actually saving what I like to come back to and or share with other people. Now, what happens after that is usually they want to go see a home or see a lender or see an agent. However, in markets that are shifting where somebody is not highly motivated about real estate, or maybe there's uncertainty about the real estate market, is there's also a piece where people are waiting to be shown, meaning shown information or shown more than that of what they can get only online from their search and save. So this is key to when you're producing content or booking real estate reviews to present or show what's happening in the market. This will lead to really how you explain or articulate the steps that somebody takes. Searching online, searching your home value, saving certain information or a specific property, saving that of information of other home sales because you're articulating that to the value of the one that you may be selling in the future. But now most people are in the position where they want to be shown more information that helps them get closer to being ready to go see a home in person, and or maybe to have an agent come over to show them and see how much the value of their property is. So you can see you have buyers on one side, sellers on another, and we're going to talk about that in a moment later on in this video. So as you articulate the searching, the saving, how you can show people or what they can see, is then the goal would be that now they're able to go see a home in person, see a lender, see an agent, which really at that point moves them to bottom of funnel. Meaning if they'll meet with an agent, meet with the lender, and or go see a home in person, that is most likely why somebody is ready to transact, is because they are now taking the steps that one normally does when they're closer to moving forward with the transaction. Because after they've done that and they're pre-approved, they've chosen you as an agent, and they're out seeing homes, the next part is to start submitting offers, which is another thing or a part of this experience that you're going to want to be able to articulate is what does offer submission look like? How do you write it? How do you win it? All the things that are important to submitting an offer. Now, do all offers get Selected? Not necessarily. We need to talk about when you submit an offer, how to get it selected. And once you've done that, now we're under contract. Once we're under contract, we're going to go through a safety process. Now, you might be noticing I'm using a lot of S's. That's hopefully just to help you be able to articulate this with some type of ease, or let's call it keeping it simple. So now that we've gone through safety, there's an appraisal, which would be savings. How do you know you're not overspending? All the things that we have learned from great companies on what people are thinking when they're buying, selling, or investing. So you can see, how do you clearly articulate the search, the save, the how do I see or gather more information that you could show me? And then at that point, am I ready now to see you as an agent face-to-face, see a lender, or potentially go see a home in person? And if we can get them there, we're now moving from the research phase that people stay in for long periods of time until they believe or have enough information shown to them that now they're ready to move forward in the transaction phase of a real estate transaction. And that would be obviously moving forward with seeing homes and submitting offers, going under contract of getting it selected. Now we go through safety and savings, and ultimately that is how somebody transacts. Now, how do we break that down even easier? To cover the second topic today of overall the real estate experience is explaining it from the buyer side or the seller side. So the buyer side you could see is finding a home and the overall transaction element. We already kind of walked through that. Searching online, saving properties, communicating so that way you can show them information. And then from there, once they're pre-approved and they're out there, choosing an agent and working towards a transaction, we start submitting offers. Now, as you look at the listing side, there's a little bit more to it. As we start looking at the plans that somebody has and the price at which they want to sell by, what we start looking at is pricing consideration. So again, what is the first steps of somebody who's thinking about selling a home? Well, they're usually comparing it to other properties. They're trying to figure out when they sell theirs, where would they be going? When do they want to be there by? So now you're able to start considering conversations around price. It's usually the first thing that somebody wants to know, which is the number one reason why people go to something like a home evaluation site or New Age, just send me an offer. So OfferPad, Open Door, all these companies that are saying, hey, why don't we, instead of skip what's your home evaluation, if you're really interested in pricing consideration, let's just send you an offer. And that is a great starting point for people, which is why Open Door in 2021 submitted 200 million offers to homeowners. Now, as we start looking at, well, what's the next part? Is preparation. So once you've considered pricing and we've actually strategically decided on that, we need to prepare the home. Then we start getting into the marketing of a property. So preparation and promotion. I'll use some P's again, all right? Because as we prepare the home, we can present it well online, which is where those buyers start. And then as we start to promote the property online and many other forms of active or passive marketing, is now we'll start getting a lot more people interested in the property. And then we move into the transaction phase of getting offers, selecting offers, and from there the negotiations of inspection, appraisal, and all the steps in the transaction. So if you can walk people through the buyer side and the seller side with a level of ease and steps, remember, now you're selling yourself through being an expert in the real estate experience, so you don't always have to share how many homes you've sold or your experience. You could be the best at articulating the steps and the process of what one does, whether they're thinking about buying a home 1 to 2 years from now, or I'm ready to go today. Lastly, we want to identify resources for gathering relevant market information. So when we look at strategy for pricing, we want to have data, we want to have market intelligence to then share what you do in marketing is how you'll overall be able to explain the real estate experience of pricing a property. And so as you look at relevant market knowledge and being able to clearly summarize this, that is usually done in a simple way of articulating inventory levels, what type of a market we're in, buyer's market, seller's market, or neutral market, because all those negotiating terms are likely to happen or not happen based off the type of market you're in and what are you, the buyer, the seller, or the investor. So making sure that you have data to support like what type of a market we're in based off months of inventory to days on market, so then that way we have a better understanding of pricing. And as you continue to move forward, now you'll have the understanding of articulating how to win and or receive winning offers, and then to negotiate as you move forward using that intelligence. Now we're going to follow this video up with where to find market intelligence, but as you want to dive deeper in to the home buyer process and or the listing process, you have the videos on the channel.